Oh yes, we are live. We are back. Let's see if we do have the quality. Much better, guys. Sorry about that. This is the first time that something like this has happened. Okay, quality is much better. It is scratching the 1080p, I would say. It's much better. You know, you guys, you can see that, yeah, the quality seems like has improved a lot. Guys, make sure to destroy the like button. My goodness, second stream. This is going to really have a painful effect, okay, on the algorithm, all right? But we're going to try and keep this stream nice, sweet, and short and go through the different scenarios that I do see happening for Bitcoin. What are the most important levels? We can take a look at some news throughout later on the stream, okay? Some interesting, you know, important news regarding Bitcoin, right, worldwide. But I want to know your opinion, first of all. Make sure to destroy the like button, guys, on your way in. Let's go, legends. Andrea Gambino, Sir Trader. Okay, let me just share this on the Telegram, okay, right away. Let's just share the new stream, guys, because that stream, I don't know what was happening, but it was bad. It was very bad. And now we are back. So let's just go straight through the scenarios and levels that we talked about yesterday. We always need to consider what we mentioned yesterday, guys. Always. Regardless if it was bad, it was wrong, was it good, was it not good, was it extremely well, was it, you know, it doesn't matter. We need to go through what the heck because we're trying to track the price of Bitcoin and what could be the next levels and what is the different possibilities to happen next. And just for anybody that was not here on the previous stream, all right, just 10 minutes ago, this is going to hit the algorithm hard. Yeah, because I already uploaded a video. The video, guys, that I uploaded today was regarding higher time frame, just some interesting, you know, facts on the technicals that we really want to take into consideration. I really want to try and go through this later on after we do the short-term analysis on Bitcoin, just because it's extremely important to understand what kind of pattern we are in. I just did a 7 minute video. Make sure to check it out, guys. It just goes through, you know, the distribution or the reaccumulation schematics, all right? And I do strongly believe that we are in a reaccumulation, right? With taking out the lows or not taking out the lows, it does make sense that we are reaccumulating. And that has to do with volume. Mainly has to do with volume, which I can explain later on, okay? But I think people are more interested in where's the next trade, right? Shall we long? Shall we short? That's what is the most exciting, you know, in trading, right? We can make money if we know exactly where we want to enter. Do not rush on your trades. Wait patiently for the exact levels. And this zone is quite interesting for a rejection, I have to say. Okay, I'll explain it right away. In the next coming minutes. I don't think we're going to go to anywhere, at least for a few minutes. But first of all, let's go through yesterday's scenario and destroy the like button, guys. Wow, 200 viewers. Holy moly, this is bad. This is bad. Anyway, it's good enough because you guys are here and you guys that are joining want to know the information of Bitcoin, right? You want to know the technicals and where the heck I can get into a trade and scratch some dollars off the market. Yesterday, it was clear there was 2 scenarios and you really need to trade based on the reaction of the scenarios, okay? Just a quick explanation for anybody that is just joining the stream right now and didn't join the previous stream. We need to repeat this, guys. This was basically what was mentioned yesterday. If we break out from the current lows, I am not interested in getting into any long position. You're either already in a short position and, you know, you're just making bank here, which I got wicked out, okay? Managed to get into a scalp long to the highs, took most of the profit and then got stopped out at break even, okay, with this drop down here. And I was interested in this short position, but I got wicked out, okay, because I got in the first attempt, we pulled back, okay, from the highs. I was too defensive and then didn't consider this. okay, as a possible swing failure pattern, right? Which was the one because we had 5 waves here to the upside, which we considered an ABC flat, right? To then get the next leg down. Now, the plan here, I don't want to short late, okay? I don't want to short as we're breaking down. I don't want to catch the drop because, you know, you just need to be fast with taking profits, because then if you shorting down here, you have a few hours to take the profits as you move down, as you get to the support levels. And, you know, if you reverse, it's a stop loss situation here as well. You know, there's no proper good stop loss here for me. You know, if you enter and you rush into the trade, you realize that this could be a fake out, right? It's just like longing a breakout, guys, here from highs. You know, I would rather look for the fake out, okay, once we get the fake out, instead of getting into a long position from this, you know, just breaking out. This is bullish, guys, let's long. You know, I would rather look for a short if you reject from the highs. I mean, this reject very, very quick. If you get into a long position here, then, you know, are you putting a stop loss beneath the low? You need to manage risk somehow, right? You can't just long and say, okay, no stop loss, let's hope for the best. No, don't trade like that, right? So, you know, there's a stop loss situation if you jump into a long here or jump into a short here. Yeah, the price will go in your favor. So, you know, regardless, it can be very defensive, very quick. I just don't like trading the, you know, you're kind of FOMOing in the break. If I'm not in the short already, I will not short the breakout because I'm aware of fake outs, okay? So, missed out on the short. You know, the idea was good, was claiming the lows are based on an ABC flat. Got wicked out. You know, hey, it is what it is. You know, I can't always be in a trade, guys, right? We can't always just crush every single trade. You need to get wicked out at some point, right? It's part of the game. As long as you don't get wrecked, it's all good. There's another trading opportunity around the corner. And the trading opportunity around the corner that we mentioned yesterday was, okay, legends, we are at the value area low. Don't worry, we'll go through the next scenarios, guys. We're going to have to talk about the first, you know, first of all, we need to talk about what was mentioned yesterday, right? Because, hey, we need to build up a little bit of you know, track record. You know, are your levels legit? You know, are your scenarios legit? Can I trust the analysis? And do you have an explanation behind the analysis, right? Well, you know, let's go and see what was mentioned yesterday. Right, let's see the zones that were mentioned yesterday. And I have to point out that this was not an easy level, guys, because we got so much choppiness on the lower time frame as we were coming down to the level of interest, which was the naked point of control. It was the 7/8 Fibonacci. It was also the previous month open and the previous week low area. And the bounce happened at the previous month low, right? You know, it was a monthly level, right? Basically, the previous month open. Let me just double check this here, because it was a monthly level, if I'm not mistaken, unless that monthly level was already tapped. At the beginning of, you know, when we got that waterfall on the 3rd of February. Okay, so it was no longer a legit monthly level right over here. It was already tapped. But we always consider the previous month open, right? Previous month open was the level that got the perfect bounce SFP, right? If you wanna say, you know, the previous month open was the exact level that got the reaction bounce, you know, to get into a long position. And then, you know, we had the naked point of control. We had the 7/8 Fibonacci, which dipped round about $200 or so beneath the 7/8 Fibonacci. Give or take about $150, not even 200. So we did dip, you know, this was the zone of interest. And I entered late on a long position here. I entered at 94,100 after seeing that we were recovering above the levels, and just thought, you know, I'm going to get into a small swing long position and speculate that this will recover, you know, and head up to $100,000 in the next coming days, and take it as a swing trade. When you are trading the range low, you can decrease in leverage, right? And you can decrease on the amount of capital, because you're looking for a larger move, right? You are looking for a larger move. And if, you know, you're a bit in a waterfall situation here, you can have your stop loss, give it a bit of room as well, right? Because instead of looking for a small little scalp, right, where you're looking for a movement of, I don't know, just for a quick example, like yesterday's long position or the short, this wick was on Bybit, not on the rest of exchanges. If you're looking for that double bottom scenario here and you're looking for profits at the highs, basically, this setup was provided yesterday in the legends that Aidan provided very nicely on text. This is a day trade. This is a scalp. You want to take profits on a rejection of a high without a doubt. However, if you enter a long position here in this area, right, where we do have that massive support, it's the 7/8 Fibonacci. You've got a naked point of control from this consolidation here on the 3rd of February, 7/8 Fib. You got the naked, you got the previous week low, previous month open. It's lots of confluence. You can take this trade as, a little bit more room for a stop loss, hoping that these levels are going to hold like the latest level, the previous month open, and take it as a swing trade where you're looking for a nice larger move to 100,000, maybe to 102,000, and give a chance for this downtrend to get, to basically get to an end stage. This is a swing long zone, right? The highs of a range, right, on the higher time frame, or the lows of a range, you want to consider them as swing trade opportunities, right? Because you literally tested the lows of the range. You broke down a few $100s from the lows of the range, which is this one here at 94,000. And then you recovered and you start trading above the level. So it got very choppy on the lower time frames. It got very downtrending. It was not an easy trade. And I entered late on the recovery just because I was looking at the price, just chopping through the levels on the lower time frames, not making an easy decision here based on the choppiness. So it's either wait for a recovery and a nice little bounce and, get above the level successfully. But when you're so choppy like this, it's just like, yeah, we need a bounce up. We need a sign of strength, and I literally, got in a little bit late here on the bounce. We did come back down, but we finally did recover. But it was the zone of interest from yesterday. Let's just get this out of the way. It was the zone of interest yesterday to look for a long if you did break out from the local lows, which you did very successfully, right? If you break down from here, I'm not looking for any longs in this zone. And the moment I will be interested in looking for longs and a little bit of a sign of strength, right, or an SFP, clear SFP, is the previous week low, naked point of control, the 7/8 Fibonacci, and also the previous month open, right, which is literally where the price was finally getting proof of support right there. Did anybody jump into a long position? Let me know right away in the comment section, guys. It was not an easy long. If you're very, very tight with your risk management, you could have probably got wicked out on the movements here, and then the price leaves without you. I went to bed with stop loss at the lows, and it was a very small position, but managed to jump into that long position, a little bit late, but just after a little bit of a sign of strength. And I'm going to give a chance, not taking profit. This is a small position. I'm not going to consider taking profit. We'll leave it as a swing trade, and I might be considering adding to the position if we see a sign of strength. So I'm interested now in short positions, right? I'm in the long. I can get, I can add to the position depending on the sign of strength or depending on the correction to add to the position, so then I can maximize the profits on the way up. But I am interested in shorts right now. We are downtrending. We've been downtrending for the last few weeks. This could be another trappy zone area, and we just dump back down to the lows, right? And we want to try and get into the short at least to the lows, right? That is if, the price does manage to come down here with the movements down. Will it be corrective? Or will it be impulsive? Will we see a three-wave move, in a correction and then move up? Then, you want to consider taking profits if you see some signs of strength, bullish CVD divergence, a three-wave structure, very corrective, no major volume. You want to get the heck out of the short, okay, most of it, because that the price could reverse here, right? That would be the moment of, this is looking good with bullish CVDs. However, if you start breaking down, right, wherever we reject very impulsively, just like we did yesterday on the first rejection, then you eventually want to hold on to that short because the lows will likely be taken. And let's go through the levels. Okay, let's see how many likes we can get on this stream. Wow, the views got down a lot. Okay, this is going to be a little bit of a painful one. We do have some news right now. Jason, nice long, bro. I'm in the same trade looking for shorts too, but hoping for more pump. Yes, me too, my man. Jason Casper, shout out to you, my man. We got him on the stream here. Very, very nice. Yeah, I think this level was very much a good level of confluence. It was not easy. I was just about to go to bed, and I thought, I'm going to get into a small long because I don't want to miss the long, and I'm putting stop loss and going to bed. I don't like leaving trades open when going to bed, but your stop loss is there, so decreasing a little bit of the leverage and the amount of capital, just because there is risk. We were counting as this. This is the kind of classic waterfall zone, right? It either bounces at the confluence level or it doesn't. And it just, absolutely collapses and claims the low here from the 3rd of February, right? Or 2nd of February, right there. 3rd of February at $91,000. So you don't want to be in a long position here with no stop loss and go to bed with some random limit levels, right? Just because there will be a moment that you wake up and you got wrecked. So stop loss beneath the low, your zone could have been 93.9, 93.8, 94.1, but this zone basically where you actually see a little bit of the reaction and sign of support. My man 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 is here, much better. Yeah, I had some problems with the previous stream, guys, and as we do get that like button destroyed, shout out to Jason Casper, guys. If you don't know who Jason Casper is, you must know who he is. Shout out to him. Thanks for the super chat, brother. Very, very cool streams with, pure technical analysis. He does use a few things that I don't personally use, such as 𝗬𝗏𝘆𝗽𝗫, and some, very similar way of analyzing the market as well with naked pointer controls. But he does use a little bit of order flow as well. Jason Casper Legends, shout out to you. Check him out, guys. He's just given a $100 super chat here right now. We did a few collaborations in the last few years. Very entertaining show with good technical analysis. I like this dude. He lives in a great house and he farms, which I want to do in the next few years. But for the moment, we're sticking with Dubai, right? Sticking in Dubai for personal reasons. Anyway, my man, shout out to you guys. Go and check out Jason Casper if you haven't. Go and check. Nice long, bro. I'm in the same trade. Much love to you, my man. We got 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽 here. Much better. Let's go. Afternoon, Omar. Let's quickly go through the comment section, guys. I'm just going to give good specific levels. And that's basically it. We want to get into the trading setups. We need to remain patient for the best levels. And I kind of wanted to get into this short. We broke out. We mentioned a possible short in the Legends trading community here. But we really smashed out through the level. And this is a situation, right? You break out very strongly. There's no short. And if you attempted a short, you should be out of the market. You should be, if you had a first attempt here, there was no real proper rejection. There was a small little rejection. If you did have an attempt, your stop loss is, extremely small. So we really did break out very, very successfully here, very quick. So, this is not a level to short or add to short positions. We broke out. We continue to the upside. What is next? There was a touch of the previous week open. When we do go to the previous week, candlesticks, right? We go to the weekly candlesticks and we do take a look at the previous week. Previous week open, previous week high, right? Previous week low. Previous week open is where we slightly got a rejection of a couple of $100, nothing too major. And I was really looking to get into a short right there just about an hour ago before the stream. It looked very, very interesting and missed out on the short. So if we reverse from here, this was the level. It's just a double top getting into the previous week open. And you could speculate as well that you have formed an ABC flat. So this area was kind of not a bad zone to get into a long. However, it would have been much better to claim the lows. Let me explain why. I mean, the pullback is shallow. As we got this very successful run up here from yesterday, and it does look like that the price could break out and go to higher levels right now. I mean, and it's just going through the waves, okay? Let's just use a little bit of the magic Elliott wave analysis right over here, because it is a very shallow pullback, but you do have a corrective flat here, and the price could smash through, and I would be very skeptical on short positions based on a successful breakout here, legends, okay? No shorts taken. I was interested in taking this short, but I missed. I missed getting into the rejection of the previous week open. And now we're possibly going to break through. Would I consider triple top? Potentially not, guys. And the main reason why is because we have formed also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right over here. Okay. You can see this on the chart from the lows here yesterday. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, forming a little bit of a contracting move right there. Okay, a little bit of a contracting move right over here in your third wave. Not the best looking one, but you need to consider that this was your entire third wave, especially after breaking out here. And then you have your fourth wave and your fifth wave, and then you have a bit of a zigzaggy move here. You kind of build up the structure as you go, right? And that's pretty clear 5 waves up for me, right? You can put the lines here. That's a pretty clear 5-wave move when you analyze the scenarios here, especially when you break out, because when you break out, we were speculating here on a possible ABC flat scenario, create one more wave and then come down was very much a possibility. But as you break out, you need to come to the conclusion that this was it. This was the 5-waver. This was the 3-wave corrective structure. And this was the impulse to the upside. Now, when you do count the lows, and this is like 5 minutes, Elliott wave theory counting right there. You do have a 5-wave move up here. There is a way in counting it. Not the most beautiful, beautiful count, but it's 5-minute time frame, right? Who does analysis on Elliott wave theory on the 5-minute? I do, and I find it very interesting to look at what could be the next move. So, yeah, the fact that we have formed a 5-wave move here to the upside, and you've rejected. You pumped, claimed the highs, and you've claimed the lows. This could be an ABC flat, right? You know that this could be an ABC flat, and you could get follow through on the breakout, forming another wave, forming another start of a wave, right? It could get very punchy, and it could get very, very strong uptrend if you do break out from the local highs. So shorting again, I mean, this was a great first short attempt, and you realize that if you formed 5 waves here and you do claim the highs again, you understand that you could form a flat, claim the lows, and bounce again here. So, I mean, this short is very a scalp. You're just scalping a short here to the lows, which is a movement of, not even $300. So, I was like, yeah, not the greatest. The risk reward is just too small. You realize you could just hit the lows here and then, move up. Now, preferably, if we would have claimed the lows for a proper ABC flat, I mean, it might come down now and claim the previous month close. And I would consider that maybe we are in a strong uptrend, right? We want to try and get into the corrections, not long the highs, right? So if you got the previous month close that hasn't been tested yet, I think we're very far away from the VWAP, the session VWAP, but overall, this pivot low, I'm not sure if we did test it on the other exchanges. Let me just double check here on Binance, for example, because, you know, it might have been tested and maybe that wick. I'm really considering changing here on Bybit. Yeah, those lows were not tested. Okay, so the lows right over here were not tested. It would have been nice to consider a long position if we would have tested these lows, right? If these lows would have been tested, you know, we could have considered a long position. Now, could we get those levels tested right now? Well, then I'll be, you know, it's going to be looking a little bit weird. Could this still be part of the ABC? I would be a little bit skeptical here right now, you know, because this is the kind of ABC should have tested the highs at a bare minimum, which we didn't. We got the previous week close. We got the lows of the range. If you test the lows and get back above the previous week close, I would really consider this is a correction and we're moving back up. The problem is, from this impulsive move starting from here, you have only retraced to the 236 Fibonacci, right? Not even that. So it's a very, very shallow pullback. It would be a very, very shallow pullback here to get into a long. I know it is a dangerous level to long, to be honest. Just because of the short pullback. Could this be an ABC corrective move, right? Where we formed a 3-waver. I mean, the C wave would be extremely small. And now we're going to start rolling to the downside. Previous week open, previous week close is just forming the range of resistance. I have to say, this is a shallow pullback to get into a long position, expecting a breakout of the highs, right? I mean, it's really a squeezed tight trading area. You know, you have the previous week close and the previous week open, which is providing the resistance and the support. You know, you could long a fake out here, in this case to the downside, or you could short the fake breakout, right? In this case, that happened a couple of hours ago. The previous week open did provide resistance and a local double top, you know, which was a kind of a scalp trade to the lows, realizing the potential of an ABC flat here. Anyway, it's just not worth it. It's just so small scalp ranges that it's like, you know, it's not worth. You know, you should have longed yesterday here in this area, right? Let's keep it that way. When you're looking for longs here, you should have longed the price action yesterday here at the 93,900, right? It got choppy, it got disturbing. We were losing the levels here for, you know, around about 30 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. It was getting downtrending. But then we got the first initial big move up above the levels, you know, and that's where I got into the long position late last night. Stop loss at the low. I'm going to bed. If I get stopped out, so be it. Right? You know, just like yesterday, you know, said I got wicked out here at break even. Luckily at break even. I mean, if not, it would have been a stop loss and that's it, right? There's no point to it because I got into this wick. If we get stopped out, we need to talk about the stop loss. And missed out on this movement down, but realizing the ABC flat here, which was a very good trade back down to the lows, right? And if you break the lows, which we did, you hold on those profits till you get down to these lows. This was explained in detail yesterday when we were ranging here. I don't like this long. We've come 2 down and this movement is very aggressive. This doesn't look corrective, right? We were speculating on this movement up, and we'll go through other levels and different scenarios here, guys, that I will be waiting for a trade, okay? This area, it's kind of not worth it. We're just getting squeezed in between the previous week close and the previous week open. And, you know, the price is bullish. It is uptrending only if we double topped here, you know, from the previous week open I think we need to snap out of this zone and look for different levels that we're going to talk about right now on the stream, guys. Okay, either this zone or this zone. This high for a swing failure pattern. I know 𝗕𝗏𝘆 was talking about this on his stream. I had to jump on his live stream, guys, for a few minutes. You know, would I consider this wick high from yesterday, right, which was the level to short after the rejection, because this is extremely hard to get into a short. I mean, it did hit the 7/8 Fibonacci from the highs to the lows here, right? 7/8 Fibonacci and rejection from it. You want to short the rejection, right? You don't want to short as you pump. You're fighting the pump. You don't want to speculate. You're either short a fib level that you have ready on the rejection, or you short a double top on the rejection, not on the pump, right? Because when it pumps, you just don't know how far it can go. And you're like trying to short the pump for the reversal, and the reversal never happens, right? And you're just getting underwater. So it's extremely important that you need the price rejecting so you can jump on the rejection with the price, right? You're jumping in the rejection so you can trade safely with your stop losses. And yesterday we gave that explanation on why this is a no trade zone for me. I don't want to short because I don't want to short the consolidation, but I don't want to long either because this looks very aggressive to the downside. It's just not a trading zone for me, right? Let's leave it that way. Some people might think we're bottoming out here, I'm longing, and we're going to bounce. We're back testing the lows. And some people might think it's a bear flag and I'm shorting the bear flag breakout, right? You know, you would get a lot of confusion here for many traders, right? You're either extremely bearish or extremely bullish, or like me, I just don't like it. I don't like a long or I don't like a short. So for me, it's a no trade zone. And the reason why it was not a good long position, well, it's pretty obvious, right? Because the movement down was just too aggressive and very one wavy, right? And we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not counting this wick. This was only on Bybit. Okay, so we're counting the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Hey, this could be looking good. This could be looking quite impulsive. You know, can we move down in a 3-wave structure and then move up, you know, form a nice correction? Well, we did not do that, right? We dropped down very quick, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to long this movement down. In no way. We need a bit of a 3-wave bullish CVDs. You know, we need a little bit of calm rejection here, nothing too aggressive, just realizing that the selling pressure is not good, right? It's weak and we can get into the long. But when you move down like this and you come down to the 0.88 Fibonacci from this pivot low to the pivot high like this, yeah, I'm not going to long this. You're too aggressive. So looking at this, so anyway, what we talked about yesterday about the people that managed to jump into the short, I was like, hold on to the short position till we get down to these lows. You know, once we get down to these lows, right over here, you check the reaction. And the reaction was no reaction. We just broke down. So if you're in a short position from this area, you want to take profits at the lows if the price gets back above and not breaking it, right? Then you take profit from the short that you took yesterday. If you break down from the levels, take profit at the zone where we are interested in longing, which was the $93,900 range, where we had the naked point of control, we had the you know, previous week low, previous month open, the 7/8 Fibonacci, right? Because people will be very bearish in this downtrend, and they would want lower, right? If anybody that shorted yesterday did not take profit, their price is at entry zone, or even they're at a loss depending on where they shorted, right? So it's extremely important, the reasons, you know, the levels where to take profit and understanding when to take profit, right? which it's a major problem for a lot of people. And, you know, if you are experienced, then you obviously know your levels, of course. And I got wicked out from yesterday's trade, which happens, you know, it does happen, of course. You know, I cannot always be in a good trade, guys. It's impossible. There's no such thing. But I am in the long position here from this range. Okay, I'm in the long, which was the level of interest as mentioned yesterday. But what is important, like I said, not considering this wick, if you shorted this scenario based on your analysis, my analysis was an ABC flat, you formed a 5-wave move in your C wave flat, you're targeting the lows as your TP1, but only if you swing failure pattern, only if you double bottom. If you double bottom, right, you get a reaction, the price gets back above, you know, these lows. Well, it's a failed breakdown. If you're shorted from either here or here, and you did not take profit in this area as you failed the breakout, you maybe got stopped out at break even because you did not, or maybe you didn't have a stop loss and you're just going wild west style, right? But a good trader would have had stop loss here, would have been, stopped out at break even or even had a slight loss if they did not take profit here at the lows when you're recovering. Now, if you entered the short yesterday here, you do have a take profit here only if you get back above the lows, right? It just makes sense. If you short here and you get back above the lows and it doesn't break out successfully, you want to take profit here. You know that the price could, jump back up. It's a fake out. We could, reverse literally, right? However, so this was the plan yesterday, guys. If I was looking for longs, I did not long here. Do you know why I didn't long here on the low? Because we did not recover back above the low. It was a plan. If we would have double bottomed, I would have considered maybe a long position if we would have faked out. But we just blasted through the level. It was like boof. So this is a zone where I'm not trading. I'm not looking for a long in this area. I'm interested in longs, but I'm not interested in this area for a long till we get down to the naked point of control 7-8 zone, right? Around about the 39.9K level, 93.9K level, right? That was the zone of interest, which was not easy, okay? It was very, very choppy, downtrending, but we got a first sign of strength here, and that's when I triggered, the long position after getting this nice little pump above all of those levels, right? This pump right over here got above the naked point of control. It got above the 7-8. That was the moment that I realized that this is a sign of strength after this brutal lower time frame downtrending move, right? I said, we need to see a sign. We need to see a sign of getting back above. When you see the sign of getting back above, you know that is your moment to take the decision. Do you want to get into the long, or you don't like it? Your stop loss is too far away. Well, then you decrease leverage, just like I did. I decreased, not leverage, the amount of capital. Leverage doesn't matter. The amount of capital that you're getting into. So overall, that was the long in zone. And if you did short anywhere yesterday, this had to be your take profit zone, without a doubt. It's either take profit on the double bottom. It does not double bottom. Hold on to that short because you're going to make some extra profits here down to this low. Take the profits here and flip bullish. I missed the short position. I got wicked out, but I got into the long position, right? This is the mentality of it doesn't matter missing a trade. Don't FOMO into a trade. Don't do anything. There's going to be some levels that you are going to be waiting for a trading setup. And this was explained yesterday. If we break down the lows, if you're in the short, maintain that short open because you're broken down the local pivot lows and you're not recovering above the pivot lows. And if you do get a reaction down at this level, right, at the 93.9, which we went down a few $100s and then got back above, take the damn profits from any shorts that you'd taken yesterday. Because if you didn't, well, the price is literally at your entry zone right now, right? And you might think, oh, I had so much epic profits, and now the price is V-shaped into my level, right? Super important, guys, as day traders, especially when we are in a big, massive range, to understand the entry zones, when to take profits, and when is it a sign of weakness, right, on the price action, where you can maintain that position open. And when you start seeing a sign of strength and a sign of proof of support for the bulls at levels of interest to flip from bearish to bullish, you need to take profits, aggressive profits from the short, and you need to start looking for that long position. Great zone of, not an easy area, I had to say. It got choppy, but it was the ultimate level of interest if we broke down below the lows of yesterday. So in a nutshell, and we're going to go through the different plans, guys. We've got 800 people watching right now. Make sure to destroy the like button. My goodness, 200 likes and we got 800 people watching. So the overall plan yesterday, we're not paying attention to this wick here, okay? We're not paying attention. This was only on Bybit. Plan of yesterday, if you're in the short, congratulations, good job. If we double bottom from the low, take profit from that short. We could bounce. If you break down, there is no long to take, and you maintain that short position wherever you shorted yesterday, because we are very likely going to come down to that pivot low of the 3rd of February, 12th of February, and the naked point of control zone and the 7-8. This area, if we start getting some bounces and some choppiness, you need to take profit, and we're starting to flip bullish. That was the overall plan from yesterday's stream. And this is the area where we are bouncing. It was not easy, okay? Because we did come down to the 7-8. We even touched the previous month open. And that was the level, 93.3K, 93.4K. Was the daily open was the one that actually got the reaction, bounced very, very nicely. As we can see here on the chart, right? So it did cross these levels and then got the sign of strength. Guys, remember, if you are interested in trading, Weeks for me is the place to go at the moment, because you just need an email and a password to sign up. You can sign up with an email and a password, but if you link your phone number, you are getting $100 for free. Take advantage, guys, because this is a sign up bonus. That's it. No deposit. You just link your phone number, and in the next 24 to 48 hours, they need to verify, okay, your phone number with your email. You'll be getting airdropped $100, all right, on your futures account. For all of the big players out there, you do have up to $30,000 deposit bonus, okay? Take advantage. The more you deposit and trade, the more volume that you move while you're trading throughout the next coming weeks, you're starting to get some airdrops, okay? And this is for big accounts, of course, right? You will be getting airdrops of a few $100s, a few thousand, the more volume you move, okay? Take advantage, because you got a 50% fee reduction as well with that second link in the description, guys. Take advantage of Weeks right away, because, you just need an email and a password, which is very good, right? You're not giving any documents or anything 2 weeks, and they're happy for you to trade with just an email and a password, right? If you want to link your phone number, then you'll get that extra $100 just for doing that. Let's go right away through the technical analysis, okay? Because I'm going to share with you, this is a very, very choppy range. Would I consider this an ABC? We are getting resistance at the previous week open. Would I consider this a 3-wave structure? The C wave is very shallow. We are still forming lower highs throughout the last few weeks, right? Would I consider this bearish? I don't like it. Usually a C wave is a little bit more expanding. I don't like this level for a short, to be honest. We do have a little bit of a 5-wave move up, so there is that risk, okay, of the price continuing to the upside based on this little flat scenario that has happened here, right? It's just, You know, I'm very, very wary that the price is just going to pop out here. Just because we got a little bit of a 5-waver, the pullback is extremely shallow. And when you get an extremely shallow pullback, you can have a massive breakout here. You know, this could be very, very bullish. So I'm really, really skeptical here on this being, you know, the bearish case would be, it's an ABC. It's another 3-wave move up here. You're getting resistance at the previous week open and you're going to reject. Previous week open, I mean, any aggressive scalp shorters, and this wicked up all the way back here. I mean, if I would have entered this level, I probably would have gotten wicked out with this movement, because this is the kind of wick that stops you out at break even. I was really considering, I only had a few minutes to decide, and the reason for this local double top, which was, you know, I just didn't like it. I didn't enter the short, but it was looking quite okay. Hang on a second, guys. Let me just double check here that I am live and everything's going well. Yes. So I didn't like the, we're just in a very, very squeezed range. But if it was the level to try and catch the top, you know, if this is going to form a top, this is literally it. And if we roll down, I'm just catching long positions, guys. I'm not sure if you noticed throughout the last week, you know, late last week, only longs, only managed to jump into some very long positions. Yesterday, also a long position here, missed out on the short because I got wicked out. And if I would have entered here, I would have got wicked out, guys. Very, very likely. I would have been too defensive. And I probably would have paid a bit of fees here to be too defensive without having the stop loss where it needs to be, which is beneath, you know, behind this high right over here. But the only short to be taken here would have been the double top. We're moving down. We're moving down right now. So I would have got wicked out anyway. And if we do break down, I would have got, you know, I would have missed the short again. I'm really missing on shorts these last few days and only managing to get the longs. But yeah, regardless, let's zoom in here because the previous week close is getting a reaction. Yeah, a little bit too aggressive here. Just considering that we do we have the music on here, guys? Yeah, this is a bit too aggressive. Just because this pullback. Let's take a look at Fibonacci levels here. Yeah, this is a bit too aggressive for a long. Okay, the 236, no, 382 could be a chance. And what we would be speculating on here, we formed a lower high. Could we come down here expanding ABC flat? It is very, very possible. Let's take a look here at the extension from this pivot high of this speculative wave 5, pivot low, this pivot high, an expanding wave C in a flat could be an option. 1.618, preferably the 2-to-1, which you do have the 382 Fibonacci from the pivot low to the pivot high here. That would be the ideal scenario to speculate that this is corrective and that we are going to get continuation to the upside in the next coming hours. This is a little bit too aggressive just because of it's shallow, guys. It's a shallow pullback. Very, very shallow pullback here. And I don't want to... I'm already in a long position from lower. If we do see signs of strength, I'll consider adding to the position. But, you know, is it worth it? Is it worth the scalp here? Is it worth the scalp to the highs? You know, it's a move of $400. You're testing the lows of the range. it is a shallow pullback. If this is an end of a wave, this ABC is only retracing to the 236. Take it with a grain of salt, but it could, you know, this could be the zone that could bounce. It's a very, very shallow pullback, the 236. Preferably the 382 is kind of a minimum zone, right? Where you would want to see that pullback to. Very, very shallow pullback. But if, you know, you consider the ABC flat, it might be the level. It might be the level, and then we get that bounce back to the highs. The fact that we have retraced here to the 0.88 Fibonacci gives high probability that we're going to come back up here to the highs. What is going to be very interesting here is maybe an expanding move. Maybe an expanding move. Hang on, let me just get this off the chart. Where you have your A wave, your B wave, 3, 3, and you kind of need to have a 5 waver here. I don't like this to be a C wave. I mean, there would be ways to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you took out the highs here. If we end up here getting an epic bounce in the next coming, you know, couple of hours, I would be very surprised. I would have to count this differently. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, you would have to count this as a double 1, 2, right? Where you're looking at 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? If we do 1, 2, 3, and we get a little bounce here, and then we come back down, I would consider the possibility that your C wave is forming an expanding move to the downside. I mean, this is not going to be easy, of course, but only I would consider if we bounce from here and we do not take out the lower highs and we reject back down, I would consider a double bottom scenario or a long position at the 0.38 Fibonacci. If we unsuccessfully move to the highs with this bounce, which we could, because then I would consider a double 1, 2 here, and you have your 3, 4, 5, and your 4, 5 right over here, 4, 5 on the formation, and you'll be in your last wave. So we need to talk about shorts as well. We need to talk about shorts. We need to talk about shorts as well, because if you take out the highs here, you could have your 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, right? I mean, it is not too great that your larger wave 4 takes out your wave 4 from your wave 3, right? But regardless, it doesn't matter. It's not an invalidation. You can do so. If we move up from here and we take out the highs, I would consider this scenario. This has been your 3rd wave. This has been your 4th wave. And hang on a second. Let's do this from scratch, because this would be your wave 1, your wave 3, your wave 4, and your wave 5. Okay, let's get the lines off the chart. Just because inside of your wave 3, you have your 5 wave moves, right? And your largest one is in the middle here, which is your wave 3, which, I mean, that would make sense. That would make sense here, that you have your wave 1, you got your wave 3 with 5 waves, and now you're forming your zigzag move, and then you're forming your wave 5. That would make sense. So if you do take out the highs, yeah, this is going to be interesting. If you do take out the highs, you could be finishing your fifth wave here. So I would really consider the potential for a short. Would really consider the possibility for a short. So, you know, we're trying to come to the conclusion here for the best shorting trade and see if it is reliable based on, you know, the waves that we have. And ideally, you would take out this high, right? I mean, we love taking out slightly higher time frame, higher highs, right? Or you know, lower highs or higher lows or lower lows. So it would be a possibility for a rejection. And if it breaks out, then it breaks out. And we would consider here that, you know, all of this is a double 1-2. That is if we smash out the highs. But it's going to be very, very interesting. The next move up, I would not short personally here the highs. These local ones, I do think that the price is going to manage to squeeze out here and get to 96.7, right? Yesterday's highs. And I would consider an SFP of that level if we do get the swing failure pattern. If it breaks out, then so be it. We go to higher levels. We maintain the long position from lower, right? But what I'm interested in, what I am interested in here, Fibonacci from this pivot high to the pivot low of yesterday. Yeah, we got the golden pocket from this pivot high that was formed on Friday, last Friday. It's not really the pivot high of the range, but it's the latest drop, right? It's the latest high, lower high, the latest one and the latest low here from yesterday. And the Fibonacci retracement golden pocket is sitting where we have this lower high right over here. I mean, just on its own, because it has golden pocket from the recent drop of the last few days. And you have a lower high, which was yesterday's lower high right there. And when you were considering the lower time frame waves, I would consider a swing failure pattern. And that is if we do form a higher low here somewhere, right? I mean, if this were to be a double 1-2, if this were to be a double 1-2, you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This can retrace a lot lower. Your retracement levels here from your wave 2, it has to be this low. You got the 382 Fibonacci and the 50% Fibonacci, which is the most common area for your wave 4. So I would be, sorry guys about this. I would be very interested in this zone right over here. You got a little bit of an order block just to consider that wave 4. And then in a wave 5, you kind of form a zigzag here. So you do have this wave. You've come up to the 0.88 Fibonacci, which is rare for a wave 2 and get an impulsive move down. And this is lower time frame shit, right? This is like really analyzing the 3-minute time frame, which is absolutely crazy. But it's looking for the best scalping levels possible. I want to take a look at the extension from this pivot high to the pivot low to this pivot lower high. I mean, the perfect level to speculate on along would be the highs, a resistance support flip, just going back to the basics here. These highs that we formed at 95,800, all right, this has to be the level that does hold for the bulls to maintain this uptrend. And this is coming to the fact of just a resistance, right? Resistance area that should flip into support, right? Not always, but it's a high resistance that should flip into support. And if we do take a look at Fibonacci from this low right over here, because that is literally where you're looking at your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 third wave. You're looking for your fourth wave to not, you know, basically go to the golden pocket and eventually overlap your wave 1. So, you know, you got a big range here where the price could go to. And the best level of confluence eventually would be that basic analysis, resistance, support, flip zone, right? Which would be kind of the level where you would look for the bounce. If this were to be the lower high, you got the 1.618 extension from the highs to the lows to the highs right over here. 1.618 extension is where you do have the 50% Fibonacci and you have the highs right over here. It would be an extensive C wave and then look for the bounce. It's not going to be an easy trade, of course. There's no real swing failure pattern. You would have to, you know, stop loss would be these lows right there. Your stop loss would be in the golden pocket zone right over here. And you're just looking for this level to maintain as support to then get the bounce back to the highs and just follow the uptrend momentum of today. I mean, this is like aggressive scalping zones. This would be my only level of interest where I would give the price an attempt and stop loss at the lows here where the golden pocket is, because then you literally know that this impulse has finished if you get down here, regardless the bounce or not. You know, this could start rolling down aggressively. This is very aggressive for a long, very shallow as a pullback. We could consider that if this ends up being an ABC movement right there, which it very much can be, we could be looking for the breakout in the next coming minutes. You know, maybe this was it. This was it. You're bouncing from previous week close. You're at support. So it's better to get a bit more of a correction and come down to, you know, better levels of confluence and just see a better pullback. 236 Fibonacci is just, it's too shallow for a pullback. Very rare you form very small pullbacks and you continue the price action to the upside, right? It's rare to see. So, you know, would you risk a long position here with this shallow pullback? Not me anyway. I would want to see lower levels and then we can start thinking of a reversal on the uptrend. If the price, we're looking to break down now, so this is going to be interesting to coming down to this area. If the price, anyway, if the price does hold here and we do not come down to the level of interest and the price moves up, it's going to be interesting now because CVD is going to play a good role here. CVD divergence will be playing a good role here on this movement down. We did have bullish CVDs that already played out here because we had lower lows on the CVD. So we do have lower lows on CVD right there. Higher lows on the price action, very aggressive on Bybit. Took out the highs. It was actually a good short. Took out the highs so that we haven't got any fresh bullish CVD divergence, unfortunately. We might get them in the blue. We might get them in the blue here. Maybe. Yeah, but we haven't got any bullish CVDs, which, you know, just to give you a little bit more confidence, right, to take the long position. Anyway, I would be paying attention, guys, here more locally because, I mean, this is the closest zone where we could get a trading setup. Stop loss for me is pretty clear. It is the golden pocket area, slightly these lows. 50% would be the best level. 382 has been tapped and now getting a little bit of a bounce. I prefer lower, or if not a missed long position. I mean, I'm already in a long from lower, so yeah, I'm not interested in this scalp. Very aggressive, you know, unless you're a sniper and you see the 382. 382 is literally getting that bounce right now. And the 382 is taken from this pivot low, guys, because, and we need to understand always why Fibonacci is taken from that low, because what we are looking at here is a wave 4 formation, and you haven't finished your wave 5, which, you know, this is going to be interesting, guys. You know, I'd rather say, okay, I missed the short, I missed the long, I'm interested in a short on the next movement up. And Fibonacci is taken from this pivot low, because remember, we're looking at this as a wave 1. We're looking at this as a wave 1, wave 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5. So you got your wave 3 from the start here, where you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you have Fibonacci retracement to calculate your wave 4, which most commonly is the 382 50%. 236 is shallow, rare, but sometimes it does happen. And the pivot low is here, your wave 2, which you go into the pivot high of your wave 3, and you're calculating your Fibonacci retracement based on this pivot low and this pivot high to know that the common wave 4 area is in between 382 and 50%. Preferably 50%, because you're going to get a better entry and you're going to manage your risk, because your stop loss is your 618. 618 is not known for your wave 4s, so it has to be your stop loss if you're speculating on this scenario. We just gently tapped the 382. I mean, it was, you could sniper that, but you know, these are difficult long positions, because it either bounce at the 382 or the 50%. So you're like, I would rather wait for the 50% if we get it. Wait for the lowest level, right? But sometimes you just bounce at the first important one, which would be the 382. So regardless, okay, that's a, you know, missed long entry. We didn't go lower, so be it. We go to higher levels. You know, if we move up now successfully, I want to be paying attention to a 5 waver on the lower time frames. And the level of rejection here could be preferably that lower high that we had from yesterday. Now, when we zoom out to look at the resistance zones, I mean, this is obviously a liquidity grab zone, guys. It's pretty obvious. We got a lot of shorters throughout the last couple of days that have not been taking profit, and they have added to their position, and they've got liquidity at this area, right? They've got liquidity at this area. So it makes sense that the price does squeeze up and get those short traders out, the ones that have not taken profits, the ones that have been adding to their position, right? And look for them to get stopped out. So eventually, with this movement up, 5 waver correction, possible 5 waver formation, we are looking for some kind of pullback after this 5 wave, right? Potentially down to this pivot low which we just formed right now. This is going to be the take profit zone, because your corrective waves in a wave 5 most of the times comes down to your wave 4. Okay, you can see right there, right? If you're looking at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you know, your 5th wave corrections usually come down to your 4th waves, so which is your target zone. So the trading plan here that I would be creating essentially would be, if you swing failure pattern, and there could always be the chance that you just break out, and this is something much more bullish than what I thought, because you could always, you know, take into consideration a multiple 1-2 scenario You know, which I wouldn't think so anyways. It doesn't have the multiple 1-2 scenario. You know, this is too long, too big. So you would speculate that this would be at its end stages potentially. And the best level to look for the short would be, without a doubt, the rejection of this high. So manage to break out, squeeze out, and then get the pullback, right? I mean, this would be the ideal rejection point. And this rejection pivot, this lower high pivot, when we slightly zoom out on the chart and we get the highest pivot of the last few days, which was basically this wick that we had last Friday, and we take a look at Fibonacci retracement from the high to the low, the golden pocket is basically where we have that lower high from yesterday. So this has to be the level, the only attempt that I would enter a short, because I missed this one right over here, which is the previous week open. It wasn't the best looking one as well. You know, I was with the legends. There was a short just a few hours ago that we were looking for an SFP from this high, speculating on an ABC flat that could happen here, right? But that didn't happen. We just broke through. So, and then when we ranging here, it's like, want to remain patient for any longs or shorts. Just want to analyze the waves here. And it's being provided here on YouTube. So we rejected from the previous week open. I mean, it's just not a short, guys. If you short here, you're long here. We squeezed in between previous week close and previous week open. You have a possibility of this impulsive move not finished yet. So it's kind of not worth the short and not worth the longs in these low pullbacks. You know, I need the price to pull back a little bit more for that wave 4, hit 50% Fibonacci from your wave 3, wave 4. It would be much better. Hit a better level of support, which is a resistance support flip, right? Keeping it simple. Hit your 50%, right? Perfect target for your wave 4 from the lows here of your first wave 2, preferably down there. Hit the 1.618 extension from this zigzag. That would be ideal. And the good thing about this movement up is that you've hit the 0.88 Fibonacci. From this movement down, if you hit the 0.88 Fibonacci from a movement down, from a lower high, so from this high to the lows, you've hit 0.88 Fibonacci. That gives you extreme high probability that this is not a wave 2 and it's a wave B. And that at some point on the correction here, you are going to take out the highs. So there was 2 levels to bounce here, which was the 382 or the 50%, which is this orange box, right? Preferably 50%, like mentioned, right? I want to get the lowest level possible based on stop loss. And now it looks like we want to try and take out the highs. So the next plan here is break out from the current local highs and get to those lower highs from yesterday, which is the next level of interest. If we break out from those levels, there's no short to be taken. I'm looking for the next lower highs, which was from Monday, and that would be maybe another level where the price could reject. If we break out from that one, then higher we go to the next lower high. And it's just, we're running out of levels here. There's no big major levels above us. We might have a cheeky naked point of control somewhere, but yeah, we've been very rangy. So yeah, there is a naked point of control here. My bad. We've just been so downtrending. I forgot to mark the levels from the last few days. There is a naked point of control right over here. We can take that level into consideration. I mean, if this naked point of control is with a good, I mean, we're going to check here right now. With a good Fibonacci retracement or a good extension from this movement. All right, let's try and map here if this is a good level of confluence where we have the naked point of control. And this chart is getting a little bit messy now. Let's just clean up the kitchen here, like Devil says. We'll clean up the kitchen a little bit and get the levels off the way. And the question is, if we break out from this high, we're looking for this high. And, you know, if none of these two get a rejection and we just trade above them, which is going to be the next level, right? Well, 97.1, which is your naked point of control that you have, right, from the price action that we had on Monday. So that is the next level. However, we don't have any fib retracements from the highs to the lows. Your 7/8 is literally way above the naked point of control from the highs here of last Friday. And if we take a look at Fibonacci extension from the pivot low of last night, to the pivot high of today, I mean, yeah, we'd have to take this one. To the pivot low. Yeah. If we would have had the 1-to-1 exactly at the naked point of control, then I would have said, guys, the 1-to-1 extension is exactly where we have the naked point of control. We could really consider that rejection point here. It seems like a zone where the price could fly through if we do not reject from this high. If we do not reject from this high, then, you know, we could be building up, you know, a larger wave 3. I would be skeptical. Anyway, the next level here to consider a short, guys, is a rejection from this high, right? Why overcomplicate the situation? I'm just trying to map what would be the next scenario, but why overcomplicate the situation where if you reject from this little puppy, then you know, I would be looking for the short here. We're breaking out right now as we speak. That double top here, not interested in a double top here based on the analysis of the waves that I explained. Would rather speculate on this high, and if it does just smash through, then up we go. But now you get the point here of this zigzag structure, right? This was a short position that I would have been extremely defensive. I would have got stopped out already, very likely, with this movement here. And yeah, it's just I would have rejected this double top, which I didn't get into. And then when you count the waves here, as explained, you realize that you could have one more wave up here. I mean, preferably a little bit lower, but it did not happen, right? Which was this count right over here. Right, this was the scenario. We're going higher. Let's see how we react at this level. Okay, let's see how we react at this pivot. But it could be the zone where it does reject. We're above the highs right now. Next level of interest to see how the price reacts. 96,700. If we break through that level, higher we go. Bitcoin's bullish. Are we reversing finally, or is it a trap? Let me know right away on a poll, guys. Are you bullish on Bitcoin for the coming days? We have been bullish. We've been looking for a reversal. Are you bullish on Bitcoin for the coming days, legends? Let me know. Yes or no? Yes or no? And let's go through the comment section. Are you bullish on Bitcoin for the coming days? It's a trap, says Lauren. Again, another trap. Come on. We've had it. We've had it with the bull traps, guys. You know, we've been bull trapped throughout the last 2 weeks. We've been bull trap for the last 2 weeks here, guys. Is this bull trap, or are we going to smash through the resistance levels? Let me know right away, guys. I'm short, says Anthony. Oh my goodness, Anthony. Let me know, where's your stop loss? Let me know, what is your strategy? Are you going to add to your short if price continues to the upside? I'm, skeptical on shorting right now. I mean, I want to take out this high because that's, we do have some liquidity up there. Let's get that liquidity that we have at $97,000. I want to short the rejection, not as the price is pumping. So as we are pumping, I'm not liking shorting the pump, right? It's like shorting a train that is going against you. I need the rejection to get into the short, right? As the price pumps, it's going against me. I need a level to be hit, and I want to short, this kind of price action as we are rejecting. That's what I want to short. I want to short once we start moving down, not when the price goes against me. So, but the main reason why I would not want to get in here is because we haven't hit this level yet. This would be the meat and potatoes level, right? To get into the short. If you wick above it, then yeah, you can get into the short, stop loss, be defensive. That would be the level of interest at the moment. Anyway, that's basically a little bit on how I do it. You could do it as however you do, and it's very successful for yourself. But I'm in the long position. I'm going to maintain this long till $102,000 and probably add to the position once we see a little bit of, signs of strength. It was a small position, but I'm going to be holding it just because for me, it's not worth taking these profits. We want to try at least make $1,000 out of this or nothing, right? I would rather do nothing, right, than this, to be honest. So I'm going to leave it open and see what happens. Remember, guys, if you are interested in trading, remember that weeks you do get $100 for free. And this is just by signing up and linking your phone number. Remember that this bonus will get airdropped in the next 24 to 48 hours to your futures account, okay? $100 for free, guys. It's a sign-up bonus. You cannot withdraw these $100. You can use it for trading. What you can withdraw is the profits that you make with that free money, guys. Take advantage. For all of the big players out there that they are going to deposit, big amounts, they're going to get airdropped, okay? Up to $30,000. Take advantage, guys. You have a 50% fee reduction on your fees, your trading fees, okay? You got the second link down below, guys. That's where you can sign up and claim the bonus, all right? Weeks down here. For all of those people that are broke, like myself, and want $100 to trade with, now is your chance, okay? For all of the brokies out there. The people that have a bit of more money, then they'll be getting larger airdrops, of course. But take advantage of that free money. Maybe it might be your chance, okay? We slightly front-runned now the highs, slightly front-run the highs. I don't like front runs, guys. That is no bueno. No bueno front run. Very difficult to jump in a short right there with your stop loss. I mean, yeah. Front run, yes, Naruto, we did front run those highs. Damn you, Bitcoin. But it might get up there. I mean, let's just wait for the level. If we come down, so be it. If it bounces here and then takes it, well, that's the moment, right? Remain patient. Don't FOMO, right? We're getting a bounce right now, so you get the deal. We don't want to FOMO in. Wait for the levels and then, or just create another next plan. Legends, but not now, says Zain. Solana is dead. What's happening with Solana? My goodness. There was this scenario, but take a look at today's video, guys. I made a video on the Wyckoff distribution and accumulation schematics. It's just interesting, a higher time frame perspective on when we do hit the lows, if we do so, or if we take the highs. Can we consider the Wyckoff accumulation and distribution? Check out today's video, guys. It's just an interesting higher time frame perspective on how we can detect if it is going to be the top on Bitcoin. If we hit all-time highs, if we break out, then we go higher. But if we reject from all-time highs, check it, guys. I think it's very interesting for you to see this, because we'll be going through this once we claim the lows, if we do so below $89,000, or if we claim all-time high in the next coming weeks. We'll be going through, guys, what we could be seeing, either an accumulation, okay, reaccumulation, or a distribution. And if we break out successfully, then it's eventually been an accumulation, reaccumulation event, okay? Legends, I have to wrap it up for today's live stream. Thank you very much for joining. If you want more daily updates, you have the Legends trading community. We're very focusing on scalping levels and scenarios on Bitcoin. Not much to talk about. I mean, Solana would be interesting to see. Just going to take a look at Solana here to really see. Oof. It's not dead. It's just got a major pullback. Okay. I wouldn't say it's dead, but we talked about this weeks ago. This has had an epic bull run already throughout the last 2 years. This went from $20 to $280, hitting its previous all-time high. Anybody that had Solana and been buying Solana, this is not a bad zone to take some profits. Let's be honest. It's not a zone to buy at all-time high. No way in a million years, guys. Stay cautious where you buy your crypto. You'll be getting wrecked. Thank you very much for joining. I'm going to wrap it up. I need to leave, guys. I will see you tomorrow in a live stream. Remember, you got the Discord if you want daily updates on trading setups. We're looking for scalps, day trades, Bitcoin, altcoins as well with Dylan. You got my updates as well with 𝗕𝗏𝘆𝗽, okay? In advance. Check it out. You do have the Discord down below, okay? You got the free Discord as well. Come and join us, guys. There's a lot of active people there. Thank you very much, and I will see you in the next one.